G'day everyone and welcome back to the PokeStray YouTube channel. I'm Jordan Bamford. Today we're back with round number 4 of the Adelaide Regional Championships. Before we get into talking about the game, I just want to quickly note that I have changed the layout of the videos for one main reason, and that's because of all the images that I had in the previous 2 games, like having different active Pokemon showing up. It just made the processing of videos so much longer, and I just wanted to kind of get these videos out quicker. It was taking like 10 hours to process each video, so I've just gone for a simplified version. Hope you guys don't mind too much. But with that being said, let's get into today's game. We've got Matty Masefield joining us once again on the right. He played the previous round, so we've seen his deck, the Dragon Rayquaza deck. Very interesting deck. It's been incredible to watch so far. He's currently 3-0. On the left, we've got Steven Filiposki, also playing a really crazy deck to make it to 3-0 at this point in the tournament. Mega Mewtwo. So 2 Mega decks, and 2 very interesting Mega decks at that. It's definitely an interesting matchup to call. I don't really know who's got the favor in here. Like, I can go over a couple of different factors in this matchup. First of all, Matty is hitting for 300 damage. That's like the simple fact of the matter is Matty's always going to be hitting for 300, and there's nothing that Steven has that can survive an attack for 300. So if Matty can get set up, his Dragon Rayquaza is just going to roll over these Mega Mewtwo's. With that being said, Mega Mewtwo can hit this Dragon Ray pretty hard. Steven's going to need a total of 8 energy in total with both active Pokemon to hit for a knockout. Usually if Matty's just used a Dragon Ascent attack, he'll discard 2 energies, so if he's only got 5 and he discards 2, that leaves him at 3. So Steven's going to have 5 energies onto a Mega Mewtwo to hit for that one-hit KO. And if you're not hitting for a one-hit KO in this matchup, then you give the advantage to the other player. So game's going to start. Looks like Matty's starting. We're going to see a Turbo Blaze from the Reshiram attached for turn. He's got a Shaman in hand to draw 3. Alright, so some other cards to factor in. Things like Shrine of Memories. If Matty's not hitting for knockouts on Mewtwo's, Steven's just going to be able to use that damage change attack to swap the damage on his Mewtwo, beef it up, keep it alive for as long as possible. So Matty's really got to hit for knockouts in this matchup. And one other big card that could be a factor, I'm not sure how many Hex and Lysanders Steven plays, but Matty plays the Giratina EX, which can just straight up mess with these Mega decks. If they're not able to find a way around it, then, you know, Matty would be in an advantage. He's probably not going to want to be using Chaos Wheel though, just because, as I said earlier, damage change can still go through. So we're going to see an Ultra Ball from Matty, another Shaman, Hydreigon coming down. If he had the same, he'd be able to retreat into that other Reshiram and use another Turbo Blaze, but he doesn't. We're going to see the Puzzle of Time. He did have one of the options there was a VS Seeker, which he didn't put on top, so looks like he might be interested in using that Professor Birch's observations next turn. And it's on Steven's turn. We're going to see just a Battle Compressor from Steven. Doesn't look like he's got all that much in his hand at the moment. We're seeing get rid of an Ace Trainer. That's a really nice card to have in this Mega Mewtwo deck. Matty's just going to take a quick look at it. I can understand why Ace Trainer's in here. It would really help in the Night March match, where, you know, they're going to be probably taking the first couple of prizes. So Ace Trainer can set back quick decks like this. I think in this matchup, Matty's deck is definitely not the quick deck. If anything, this Mega Mewtwo deck is probably going to get set up first unless Matty gets insane draws. So Mega Mewtwo tends to have a quick start. Like, you know, it's pretty good in the first couple of turns. But once a couple of Mewtwo's and a couple of DCEs and your Mega Turbo start to run out, the deck just kind of slows down a lot. So if you're not able to keep up with it, your opponent might be able to just win by just kind of drawing you out of resources. Matty's deck plays a lot more conservative, and it definitely has a slower start but a stronger late game. So it'll be interesting to see. So we did see Steven take the VS Seeker there, but he decides not to take anything, and we're just going to see a Scatter Shot here. If Matty's able to hit for a knockout, which might be possible. He got the Spirit Link and the Dragon Rayquaza. He got a Turbo Blaze and Birch's observations here. 1 double Dragon Energy. And that Mewtwo is going down, and, you know, Steven really has to draw into something. So, and it's a head, so we might see the double dragon. And it's the first card Matty drew was the double dragon energy. So we are probably going to see the dragon ascent this turn. If he got the stadium, it looks like he does. Yeah, Shrine of Memories comes down. Double dragon onto the Mega Ray. And he's going to hit for 300 and probably discard the double dragon. Yep. Taking the first 2 prizes of the game. That Mewtwo is done. Steven's just going to throw up the other one. He's got an Ultra Ball. We're going to see the Spirit Link and the Mega Mewtwo coming down. He might be able to Ultra Ball here for the Hooper, but it looks like he's just going for that Sycamore. He could have got the Hooper and got 2 more Mewtwo's down and a Shaman, just in case he's not able to hit for the knockout here, which, judging by his hand, he's probably not going to be able to. He does look like he's got a Shaman. He's got a Mega Turbo, but he's only got 1 Psychic in the discard. He got a Trainer's Mail. He was probably looking for an Ultra Ball at this point. Get at least another Mewtwo down. But it doesn't look like an Ultra Ball's there. So I don't even think he will bother taking anything at this point. It looks like he's debating taking the VS Seeker. I think it's probably best at this point to just shuffle those cards back in and try and play the Shaman to draw more cards. That's probably his best bet here. And it looks like that's probably what he's going to do. So he'll probably see a Mega Turbo. Maybe the Psychic Attachment. I can't see a way of him hitting for the knockout this turn. You're going to see the Mega Turbo being played. Psychic got onto that Mega Mewtwo. Will he attach? It looks like he's going to attach the Psychic. And just set up for 3. So he did actually draw the double colors, but it was the last card he drew, I think. So it was probably best to just do that. And we're going to see the Psychic Assault for 160, I believe. Yeah, 160 damage onto that Dragon Rayquaza, which isn't a knockout. And unfortunately for Steven, he didn't even get another Mewtwo down, so he can't even threaten a next turn knockout. We're going to see switch from Matty. Going into that Reshiram. Going to see the Scorched Earth coming down. Ultra Balls away the Hydreigon. And the Sycamore. Going to take probably the Reshiram. He's probably just looking to thin his deck at this point, just to ensure that he's always drawing into these double dragon energies, or at least the puzzle at times to get the double dragon energies. You see the Ultra Ball away the Reshiram and the Escape Rope. So we've got the 3 double dragon energies left in deck, so he hasn't prized any of them, which is lucky. He's going to take another Reshiram, and it looks like he does have that VS Seeker for the Sycamore there. So you're going to see the VS Seeker for the Sycamore on that Reshiram. Drawing 7 cards. There's the double dragon energy, so he's definitely going to get the knockout this turn. He's also drawn into a fire energy, so he might be able to Turbo Blaze to the active maybe, or the other Reshiram. I don't think it matters. Probably the active without the damage counters on it. So you're going to see the Turbo Blaze. Retreat into the Dragon Rayquaza. His attachment for turn will probably be that double dragon energy and a Dragon Ascent for the knockout. Putting him down, Matty down to 2 prizes. And he's got the double dragon energy for next turn. If this Shaman stays active, I can't see a way of Steven getting out of this. He does play, I don't know if he plays 1 or 2, but I know he plays Cresselia, which is a really nice card in this Mewtwo deck. It helps to one-hit KO Gallades, as well as helping in the Night March match. Cresselia is able to one-shot a Shaman with a Fighting Fury Belt and just a Pumpkaboo without, which is really nice as it can help in the prize trade for Night March. Mega Mewtwo notoriously struggles against Night March, so it can be nice to make Night March players have to play a 7 prize game. And it looks like Steven's just going to Sycamore here. Draw a fresh hand of 7. So that Cresselia might be his only hope of hanging in here. And he does draw into it. You're going to see the Trainer's Mail. He would probably also want to see an Ultra Ball at this point, so he can at least get a Mewtwo down. Just so if he is able to buy that one turn, it's just not going to be him throwing up the Shaman again. So he's going to take the Sycamore. Probably for next turn. I don't think he's got a way of getting another Mewtwo down, so I think Matty might have this game. Cresselia gets benched. Going to see the Shaman retreat. And I think Steven's going to explain the ability of Cresselia here. Essentially, if there's a stadium, it's got a free retreat. And just passing turn. Is Matty able to get the Lysander here? He's got the double Dragon Energy via Seeker. Does he have the Lysander in there? Lysander's there. Matty's going to take game 1 over this Mega Mewtwo deck. So, a very interesting turn of events there was that Dragon Ray deck was actually quicker than Mega Mewtwo, which doesn't typically tend to happen, but it did in this matchup. So, we'll probably see Steven go first, and that's going to be a huge advantage. Whoever goes first is able to get their Megas almost set. You know, they've got a better chance of having that turn 2 Mega Evolution to start hitting for the knockouts. So Steven will probably choose to go first, set up some Mewtwo's, and get things going before Matty can really set up his, which is always going to be nice. One problem that Steven does face is those Reshiram's. Not the attack, but just the fact that they're not an EX Pokemon. Matty's likely to start with one of the 4 that he plays in the deck. So even if Steven is able to get the first knockout and it's a Reshiram, that's not going to help him too much. He really wants to be swinging at these Rayquazas. Matty only plays 2 Mega Rayquazas, so if you're able to take down 2 of the normal Rayquazas, and it's only 1 Mega Rayquaza that he's got left. I think he plays a 3-2 line, if I recall correctly. So if you're able to knock out these basic Rayquazas quickly before he can set up a Mega, and just leave him without any option to get in the Mega, that could be one possibility that Steven has to go for, is just Lysandering up these Rayquazas before they turn into the Mega. It also means he's going to need to have 2 less energy attachments to hit for the knockout. So it looks like Steven once again starting the Mewtwo. He probably wouldn't mind starting Cresselia here, and it looks like Matty has started with the Hydreigon there. For some reason I thought it was a Hooper, but I don't think he plays a Hooper, so it's obviously not that. So Steven's got an Ultra Ball in hand. He's also got a VS Seeker. So it looks like he might even just pass here. Yeah, he's just going to pass. Maybe wait for next turn. He doesn't want to play those Spirit Links down in case of the Megaphone, which I don't actually think Matty plays the Megaphone. And Matty's just going to straight away go for a Birch's Observations. And it looks like for Tails there. I think that was a 5, so only drawing 4 cards here is going to hurt. Especially when those are your 4 cards. 2 Reshirams, a Rayquaza, and an AZ. That has to hurt for Matty. So this is really Steven's chance here to get things going. He's got the Ultra Ball for the Hooper. And he's also got the Sycamore in hand and a VS Seeker, I believe. So either way he wants to play this, he can discard both the Sycamore and the Hex. You're going to see the Hooper. Yeah, Hooper comes down. To just make sure there was a Hooper there. For the Mewtwo, Mega, it could be a Shaman that he takes here, just to draw more cards. And then maybe VS Seeker for Hex Maniac, stopping those Reshirams from attaching. That could be a possibility for him. And that might be a great thing for him to be able to do. If he's able to draw enough energies to at least do half of this Hydreigon's damage. If he gets a double colorless, he'll be hitting for enough to really put... he's going to be hitting for 100 at this point. So even if he doesn't hit for the knockout here, it probably won't bother him too much. Just because if he's able to Hex Maniac, that's Matty's abilities. We're not going to be seeing a Shaman next turn. That's probably a really good option for him here. And just hit for the 100 with the Mega Mewtwo, then next turn, perhaps get things going. You're going to see the VS Seeker. Yeah, he's going to take the Hex Maniac, play Hex Maniac. Yeah, he's playing it. He's debating there. He could have possibly taken the Sycamore, but no, he's going to stick with what he chose. And hit for 100 on the Hydreigon. Matty's going to Aza the Hydreigon into the Reshiram, play back that Hydreigon, and pass turn. Is that a Sycamore in his hand? I think that might have been a Sycamore that he drew off the top deck as well. So he's probably just keeping this that Hydreigon alive. If Steven's able to get a Mega Turbo and a double colors here, and a Lysander on that Rayquaza, that could be huge. We're just going to see the Psychic come down, however. So he's not going to have that this turn. VS Seekers for the Hex Maniac. And even still, if he's able to chain Hex Maniacs for a couple of turns, that's going to kill Matty. Not being able to use those Turbo Blazers. But he actually opts not to play it. Which could come back to bite him anyway, so... he was actually meant to play the Hex. I think Matty's going to let him do it. So yeah. In that case, I don't think Matty has to let him play it, just because he didn't declare it last turn. Unless he said it. I'm not too sure what happened there. But Matty's going to allow the Hex to be played, and we're just going to see the Mega come down. So that could come back to bite Matty, that, allowing Steven to do that. We'll have to see how it turns out, I suppose. So Steven's going to be able to knock out this Restroom here. We're going to see the Battle Compressor. It gets rid of an AZ. Might even get rid of a Psychic Energy. A-Strain is going down. And the Psychic's just for a future Mega Turbo, I suppose. It's always nice. Matty's once again going to read that A-Trainer. I don't think it's going to be too useful in this matchup. Steven's going to be taking the first 2 prizes of the game. So I don't think there's going to be any chance of him, falling behind Matty. They'll probably stay equal for the rest of the game if Matty's able to get things going. You see a Shaman from Steven to draw 5. He's probably looking for another VS Seeker to stop abilities once again. Trainer's Mails. I think he has one there. Maybe even an Ultra Ball to get another Mega Mewtwo down. I believe he's still got a Sycamore in his hand, so if he's able to get another VS Seeker for a Hex Maniac, we're going to see the VS Seeker. So if he takes the Hex Maniac, I think that's pretty much game. There's no way, unless Matty's able to get one of the Mega Turbos he plays. I think he only plays 1 or 2 Mega Turbos. So if he's able to do that, then that could be really scary for Steven, but I don't even think that would matter too much. He's got another Mewtwo there. He's only played 2 DCs so far. He's going to see the VS Seek for the Hex, play it, and hit for the knockout. Up comes the Mega Rayquaza. I think he's got the Sycamore in hand. That's his best bet here, is just Sycamore. There's the Double Dragon. I don't see the Mega Turbo so far. I can't really see his entire hand though. He didn't draw the Mega Turbo. Matty might just scoop here just to save himself the time. Puzzle of Times. And the Mega Turbo was there. Mega Turbo was 1 card off. That's really unfortunate for Matty. Just 1 card could have... It wouldn't have won him the game, but it would have helped sway the game in his favour a bit more. Got the Giratina coming down. He's going to switch into the Tina and try and stall Steven out here. Steven has played 3 VS Seekers. He might not have the next VS Seeker for a Hex Maniac. This could be a really good play from Matty here. So I think Steven was just saying you don't have the Hydreigon's ability. Matty showing that he's got the switch. And I believe Steven may have just top decked a Hex Maniac. Which is going to be really unfortunate for Matty if he has. Because we know Steven's got the Mega Turbo in hand. If he can attach a Psychic, that'll put an extra 60 to his attack. So it'll be enough to knock out Giratina anyway. If he's got that other Hex Maniac. By the looks of things, that's what the card that he drew was. So we're going to see the Mega Turbo to active. Attaches Hex Maniacs and is able to hit for that knockout. And I don't think Matty can come back from this here. You can see the Mega Turbo as well. I disagree with that move. I think Matty doesn't want to do that. Because now all Steven needs is a double colorless to hit for the knockout. Because he's got 4 energies. Yeah, probably the wrong move for Matty to do there. All Steven needs now is a double colors or a psychic and a Mega Turbo instead of the double colors and the Mega Turbo. He only needs one or the other. So Steven's going to go up into this Mewtwo here. He'll probably be able to draw into this. I think he's got the Sycamore in hand. There's the Mega. That's one piece of the puzzle anyway. So if he's got the Mega Toe in hand, then it'll be game. If not, he'll have to dig for either the double colors. I think it'll probably be safer for him to dig for the double colors than it would be the Mega Turbo. I think he's played 2 Mega Turbos at this point. You'll see the Ultra Ball anyway. So he's going to have a look through his deck, see what he's got. I don't think he's got any more Mega Mewtwo's left in deck. Just having a quick look. So he's going to take the Cresselia. He might be forced to stall, and if that's the case, Matty doesn't have the VS Seeker for a Lysander or the Lysander in hand, so could be something that Steven decides to do if he isn't able to draw into one of the 2 combinations that will help him win this game. Steven just doing a bit of maths just to see what he needs to hit the knockout. And Mega Mewtwo decks tend to happen. You just want to make sure that you're hitting for the knockout before you attack. So he's going to tap Psychic, so he's really banking on hitting a Mega Turbo here. There's the Sycamore, there's the DCE, so he would have got it. He draws in the Mega Turbo. So he had both win conditions there. So yeah, if Matty didn't draw Mega Turbo last turn, Steven would have not. If he played that energy that turn, then he would have lost that Mewtwo. I think he would have lost the game actually, if not for that Mega Turbo, unless he Sycamored into it. But that's what happened. So it just would have been more likely for Matty to survive a shot without that Mega Turbo that he did. So we're going into game 3 here. Matty's going to start. So as I said previously, the player who's starting kind of has a bit of an edge just because they are able to, get their Megas and everything set up first. It doesn't ensure the win, but it just helps. So players are just going to shuffle up now. Steven being able to chain those Hex Maniacs last game was really what won him in the early game. If Matty's not able to use those Reshiram's and he's got 2 in his field, they're just dead cards that he's just kind of throwing as bait to these Mega Mewtwo's. So if Steven's able to do a similar thing and just use a bunch of Hex Maniacs for the first couple of turns, we know he plays 2 now. So, if he's able to do that, stall Matty out. Matty's very reliant on those Reshiram's. If you're able to chain Hex for a couple of turns, then you might be able to survive the Dragon Rayquaza, as we just saw previously. Matty's not also able to use those Shamans to draw cards, which are very important for him. But we'll see what happens. Both players going to draw their hands at 7. Steven's hand doesn't look too flashy here. I thought he was going to mulligan. He drew Mewtwo at the last second, and it looks like Matty's starting Hydreigon again. And Matty's hand doesn't look too good either. Gonna see the Ultra Ball. I think he's got 2 Dragon Rayquaza. Oh no, there's a Giratina. So it looks like he's just going to drop the Giratina, which is fair. Whilst Giratina could be good, knowing that Steven plays 2 Hex, he plays 4 VS Seekers, he plays the Lysanders, Giratina might not actually be that good here, unless you're playing multiple copies and, you're able to stall out those Hex Maniacs, avoid being hexed, then they're good. But I just don't think Matty thinks they're worth it at this point. You're going to see the Professor Birch's Observation drawing 4, Double Dragon coming down, Puzzle of Time just to see what he can draw into next turn. I think he's already got a VS Seeker in hand, so he's probably not going to want that. Probably take that switch to the top. He's got 2 VS Seekers in hand. And passes to Steven. So we're going to see a Trainer's Mail here. Steven going to take nothing with that, which is actually really unfortunate because I don't think his hand is all that flashy here. So you might be a bit worried of Matty being able to get this Dragon Rayquaza next turn. Wouldn't take too much for him here. think Steven was just checking one of his sleeves or something there. I'm not too sure what that was. I don't think he'd be counting his deck at this point. And yeah, Steven's hair is just not good. Gonna see the Psychic come down and just hit for 30. Steven really has to draw into something a bit better here. Otherwise, Matty's just gonna be able to set up this Rayquaza. And this is the big turn. If Matty flips ahead, he's got a pretty big chance of hitting a Mega Rayquaza. You think he plays 2 Mega Turbo, so if he's able to draw into Double Dragon, a Ultra Ball, if he's able to draw into the Spirit Link, Shamans, or some way of drawing more cards, but he flips a Tails once again. So you're going to see another switch into that Reshiram that he just benches. Turbo Blaze and Mega, and that's his hand. So Matty's now relying on top decks, which is very unfortunate for him. You don't want to be in that position. Psychic Energy going down onto that Mewtwo. Steven draws into a Hex. He could play the Hex just to ensure that we're not going to see a Shaman drop next turn. Could also license out that Hydreigon, which already has the damage on it. Start to pick that off a bit. That could be an option for him. Still very scary for Steven though. Not having any other Pokemon and just his lone Mewtwo. So he's going to Hex it for 60. VS Seekers of the Birch. This is a big turn. All it takes is a Double Dragon Energy and a way of switching, and Matty will win the game. And once again, he flips Tails. There's the AZ Fire Energy. Nah, that's not it. You have to question if Matty hit the heads there. Could have been different for him. It'll be interesting to see where he plays that energy as well. He's deciding not to play it at all. Reshiram would have likely been knocked out. There's no good on Hydreigon unless they're playing something like the Age Slash, then it's okay. Putting it onto that Dragon Rayquaza, as we learned in the last game, having an excess amount of energy that you don't need on the Rayquaza is not helpful at all. And Steven's able to draw out of it. He draws a Hooper, so you can see a Mewtwo, Shaman. I don't even think he's got enough cards to make that Shaman worthwhile. If he had the Spirit Link, this would be an insane turn because he would almost be able to knock out that Dragon Rayquaza. He's got the Lysander in hand, so if he had the Spirit Link, he could take the Mega, play the Psychic Energy, or even just hope that he draws the double colorless. So that could be a possibility, and if that happens, it'll be huge. If he's able to knock out this Dragon Rayquaza sitting at the back there, then I think Steven may actually win this game just based off that alone. I don't think Matty would have enough turns to set up another Dragon Ray. So there's a Mewtwo coming down. Psychic Energy. And we're just going to see the Shaman set up for 2. So he didn't have everything he needed there. That would have been crazy if he did. He could have also Lysandred up that Dragon Rayquaza and hoped. But, it's better to just kind of go for this play. Going to be a Seeker for the Hex Maniac. And just hit for the knockout on that Reshiram. Most likely. Oh, he's actually going to go for the Mega. And I kind of disagree with that play. Because if he was able to jump ahead in the prize game early on, that might give him an advantage here. If Matty's able to get a knockout, he's got the Double Dragon Energy. Does he have the switch though? If Matty's able to get the knockout, then Steven would be at the worst end of this matchup. But it doesn't matter, apparently. Matty's just going to pass. Steven's just looking in his hand here. Can he hit the knockout? He's 1 energy off of it. So a double Colossus. He's got the Lysander. If he had a Psychic Energy in the discard, he's got a Mega Turbo. So he has a couple of different options, but I just don't think he's able to do it here. Not in this turn anyway. So we're probably just going to see the knockout on the Reshiram. There's only, if he Lysanders the Dragon Ray, there'll be 7 energy in total, which will be 10 damage off from knocking out that Mega Rayquaza. And then also you bring it to the active position without knocking it out. And we know Matty's got that Double Dragon, so you really don't want to bring it to the active position if you can avoid it. He might just VS Seek for a Hex Maniac again, or even just Lysandering up that Hydreigon, maybe keeping that stuck, and just hoping that Matty isn't able to draw into a Stadium card. That's an option. but it's not easy for him here. So he's just going to attach the Psychic to the Mewtwo. He's just a couple of cards off from being able to knock out Mega Mewtwo, the Dragon Rayquaza in the bench as well, which is unfortunate for him. If he was able to have just, a few more cards, then it'll be okay. We're going to see the Lysander onto the Dragon Rayquaza. It looks like he's just going to go for it here and just put a lot of damage onto that Rayquaza. I don't disagree with that. If Matty isn't able to draw into anything else, we're most likely going to see a knockout. So there it is. I believe that is 190 damage. Yeah, 190. There's the double dragon energy. But is he able to get anything else? We're going to see the judge. And that's going to help Steven here, because we know Steven's hand wasn't very good past this. So 190, a scanner shot would knock out that Dragon Rayquaza at this point. So he doesn't exactly need the Mega. I think Steven played that very well there. He's ensuring himself the knockout next turn. If Matty's not able to draw into anything, then he's going to be able to potentially win this game just based off knocking off that Dragon Rayquaza. If Matty benches another Rayquaza, then it could be a bit different. But as we see there, he doesn't get it. So we're just going to see the attack here. And Matty's going to hope that he can draw out of this somehow. And it looks like Steven actually drew quite a decent hand off of that. We got the Spirit Link. He's got another DCE. I think he's also got a Sycamore. So DCE going onto that Mewtwo. And a Sycamore there. And he drew into the Ultra Ball. So he's definitely going to have a Mega this turn. Another play he could have made there was actually attach double colors to the benched Mewtwo. I don't think it matters though. Just could have been an option for him. Just so he could scattershot instead of needing to have the Mega on this active Mewtwo. It could have just been a more conservative play for him. But looking at Matty's board, it doesn't matter too much because he's not going to be knocked out in one hit. There's no other Rayquazas down. So we're going to see the Ultra Ball for the Mega Mewtwo. And this is scary for Matty. If he isn't able to get another Rayquaza next turn, then I would call that game. I don't think he's going to find a way around it. So there's the knockout on that active Dragon Rayquaza. And Matty's hand is not looking good. He's going to Sycamore, and that's a lot of cards to lose. He could have Turbo Blaze, but that doesn't help him. I don't think Matty's got enough. There's a Rayquaza, so it could be something here. The question is, does he attach a bunch of energies this turn, or does he play it slow? So there's the fire coming down. He's going to pass. If Steven's able to Lysander here, he's got the... I just saw he drew into that double colors. So it'd be 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, 180. If he's got the Lysander, he's got the knockout on that Rayquaza. And I think Matty would just scoop at that point. Double colors comes down. And he's got the Lysander there. And Matty's going to scoop here. And Steven is showing that he does have the VA Seekers there. Yeah, Matty just forced to scoop in that circumstances. There it is, round 4. Steven Filiposki, Mega Mewtwo, takes the win over Matty Masefield's Dragon Rayquaza deck. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe. And we'll see you for round 5 shortly.